I am reacting to the Chinese drama Detective from the year 2020, and I'm already on episode 8. It's a 26 episode drama, and some of these episodes take a lot longer to talk about than others do, because my main focus of this is not the story in general, and it's also not most of the characters in general. It's mainly focused on the 4 characters and their relationship with each other and how they're reacting to what's going on around them and to each other and all of that stuff. And if you're suddenly jumping into this video for some really odd reason and you haven't seen the other ones, then you should probably back up and watch the other ones, because this is already episode 8. See if you've missed a lot if you haven't seen the other ones. If you don't want any spoilers whatsoever, then you better go watch the show first, because this is literally a walkthrough where I'm literally spoiling everything for you. So, episode 8. What I specifically liked. As you'll notice as we go on, there's some episodes I have observations, I have specific likes, I have specific dislikes, and I have questions. 4 categories. I don't have all the 4 categories in every episode. So, what I specifically liked about episode 8. Random, I know, but seriously, the unified, huh? Dan and Dan when Jajan tells them that the guys are fighting, and I cannot help laughing. I don't know why, it sounds so funny, I love it. Also, what I specifically liked, the hair in Dapan's face when Jajan turns, because that wasn't done on purpose. It was literally an, oh, long hair moment. I've been there and done that on both ends. I have literally just about hit people in the face when I had hair down to my waist. I've literally accidentally almost hit people in the face so many times, and I myself has almost been hit in the face with it because both my sisters and my mom had long hair while I was growing up. So been there, done that on both sides. It was not a purposeful because she's being disrespectful to the fact that Dapan's standing there or anything. That was a pure long hair accident. It was kind of funny. It was so natural. I love it when shows are just natural. Like, they don't have to edit and perfect everything. There's just this natural, relatable, because it's so natural. What I specifically disliked about episode 8 was how out of the blue this whole love triangle is. This whole time I've been saying there's only one thing that's out of the blue, and there I'm using the phrase out of the blue, and this is not what I meant. So maybe it's not that it's out of the blue, but at the same time it is out of the blue, because we were introduced to Jang as her brother. Okay, as we see, Tan's uncle, but he's not actually his uncle. He was just a friend of the family, so he's called Uncle. That happens in real life too. My dad had a best friend that we called Uncle, even though he wasn't related to us. Jang was introduced to us as Chinting's brother, but it turns out like they're not actually related. She just calls him that. But because she was doing that, and because of the way that Jang was acting, honestly, even the second time through, this just doesn't seem to fit with the kind of backstory that they throw at you here. That backstory, seriously. I'm sorry, but that was just so awkward. Again, it's like, why is this show doing this? It's like everything else is just so big that they just completely dropped the ball here. Just literally. Okay, you know how I said that Changmin is very patient and he observes things before making any kind of snap judgment, and that's a really strong point of his? Yeah, that's the complete opposite here. He walks in and sees them hugging, and like, Chunting cannot even look at him. She's looking down at the ground. She's looking anywhere but at Chunting. Like, could you scream louder that she is lying through her teeth here? And yet Changmin goes, and runs away. And he doesn't just walk across the city and spend a couple days thinking and then goes back and talk to her. No. He literally leaves for 7 years. Okay, it's just all so awkward, especially up against the complexity of the rest of the show. What the crap did this show do here? Why did they have to have Jang part of this love triangle? Why all of a sudden did they have to have him doing this? Why do they all of a sudden have to have Changmin come back and go, well, I thought you two were together? If you've watched this show, did you see this coming at all? Jang's reaction to Changmin, Changmin's reaction to Jang, Chunting, all of this. Did you see this coming, that Jang was actually part of this love triangle? Did you see this coming, that this is what happened in their past? Moving on. Another thing that I disliked about the show was how much time is spent on greedy family members / characters that I don't know and I don't want to know. The Song family. So, okay, short, sweet. Moving on to episode 9. Observations. 1. More changes for Tan and Mir, who we haven't seen since episode 6, by the way. Now you see why we're moving so fast through a couple of these episodes. We haven't seen Mir since episode 6. And it's quite interesting that it's him that convinces Tam to stop being so stubborn. Let go of his, is it arrogance or is it just fear? Mir did just figure out which nail to hit. Tan is trying to push Jajan away so that he won't fall for Mir instead. Mir just figured this out. But it's quite interesting that it's Mir that convinces Tan to go apologize. Mir wants out, not to disappear, even though he's in the process of making Tan believe he will. So it's all safe. So does this mean he only wants Tan to apologize for Mir's future sake? I'm not sure. From the rest of the show, I'm really not sure, because I am not convinced Mir ever intended for Tan to disappear either. What's cool about this scene is the growth in Tan, both in his letting go of his stubbornness towards Jajan / his stubbornness toward being right, although he was right. For love's sake, sometimes you have to let go of that. Also, his growth towards Mir himself. Tan didn't even take the medications before leaving the room to talk to Jajan. Did you notice that? He didn't even take the medications. So yeah, there's changes here happening. Is Mir just doing this in order to secure his own future because he doesn't want Jajan to disappear from the picture? He doesn't want to have to go and repair a relationship that Tan broke? Or, like, does Mir just not know that he could maybe make Tan disappear? Or does he not want him to disappear because he wants him to have the feeling of being locked inside for all these years? Retribution, man, you did to me, now I'm going to do it to you. I'm not really sure what Mir's intent toward Tan is. I don't know. What I specifically liked about this episode was that it's kind of cool how Jajan heard all about the affair from someone else, and it's her that brings it up first, which means Tan kept his word and was not the one that said anything about that secret. A man of his word. Tan, you're cool. He said that he wouldn't tell anybody, and he didn't, because Jajan heard it from somewhere else, and she's the one that brought it up. When they said what could possibly be the motives, Tan didn't say, oh, I know a possible motive. He went, and didn't say anything. 2, Tan and Dapan investigating how long it takes to get from one place to the other. Hilarious lines! Normal speed? What normal speed? You rode a horse and I ran. That had me cracking up so hard. And then also, it's too true that overweight people get made fun of and picked on in shows. First portrayed as always eating, and then end up doing some kind of total fast in order to lose weight. Like, that happens so often in shows, and it's kind of overdone, and it's kind of really irritating how much fun overweight people are made of. I have people that struggle with their weight in my own life, and it's not cool to do that. Yes, a lot of people bring it on themselves, but just overeating and having bad habits and bringing it on yourself is not the only reason some people are overweight. There's many different reasons. And some people try hard to lose that weight, and it just doesn't seem to come off no matter what they do. So, like, would you stop making it a joke in every TV show ever when you bring overweight people into it? And so when I saw this happening here, I was like, groans, don't do this. Him trying to lose weight for the girl he has a crush on is kind of bad enough because, like, why do you have a crush on this girl? For the love of sanity. But next thing you know, Tan gives him food and has him riding the horse because why? Because Tan isn't trying to be mean to him. He's not trying to make fun of him. He legit loves his best friend, and he is legit trying to support and encourage him. This is real. Okay, he was teasing him and maybe he went a tiny bit too far, but as soon as he realized he was kind of going too far, he was like, oh man, I didn't mean to do that. And he literally apologizes to him. He's like, I'm sorry. Have some food. Get on the horse, man. You are doing good. Let's take a break from this. Aww. Their relationship. I'll just keep saying it. I just love those two. Number 3 about specifics that I liked. Jajan's reaction when the beads fell on Tan. I mean, why, girl? Why with the knife? Don't forget this because we will go into it later. But what I specifically liked was the beads falling and her instant reaction to cover his head for fear that he'll get hurt. It is so adorable. I made a reaction video just to that clip. I called it Love's Reflex. That was cute. Oh, that was cute. Ah. Number 4. The first time Tan reacts to something Mirror said when someone else can hear him, and Jajan's confusion since she can't hear or see Mirror. I just love that because that's like one of the only times, because usually Tan, nobody is ever there when he's talking to Mirror or when he's listening to Mirror. There's been a couple of times where like he saw him in the mirror and like, get out, because he needs to take his medications and get rid of him and deal with him and all the rest of the stuff. This is the first time that we actually see somebody else in the room. Mirror says something and Tan's like, huh? And Jajan's like, was he reacting to me? Do I need to repeat myself? So the whole way that Tan's listening to Mirror while Jajan is in the room, we don't see that very often, probably because Mirror is constantly being suppressed, so he can't talk to Mirror, which is sad. I would have loved to see more of this. The reality of voices talking inside and outside at the same time. So, like, Jajan is talking to Tan, and Tan is distracted because Mirror is also talking to him. So, like, I liked that. What I specifically didn't like, honestly, though, Tan was not wrong about Jajan's recklessness. And I don't know, is it the time period? Even if she is a detective, would she really not know how important that necklace is? Maybe, I suppose, I don't know. How many times has he tried to patiently correct her? What kind of stress is he in that he actually broke? Everybody has a breaking point, and I don't blame him because that would be pretty frustrating. He's trying to solve a case, and she literally gave away some of his key evidence. Like, it is key evidence to help them solve this case, and she just gives it away. It does irk me quite a lot when people do stupid things, and yet just because they didn't mean to, it's made to look like what they did wasn't wrong. Yes, it is still wrong. Don't mix those two things up. And this is the second time this has happened. She broke into someone's house. Okay, she isn't a police person, but still, she's working with one. She's breaking the law in order to solve a case. This is not okay. And now she gives away evidence without asking if she can. So this is twice, where even though her intentions were pure, she did something wrong. And yet she's upset that he's mad, and Japan is on her side, not Tan's. I mean, sort of. He didn't say that what she did was right. He just tried to justify it with her ignorance and pure intentions, and was more against Tan's loss of composure than anything else, which is fair, because, yeah, no, Tan shouldn't have been yelling at her. It is right for Tan to apologize for shouting at her. Definitely. Because he shouldn't have done that. But he wasn't wrong in what he said. And it kind of just skims over that what she did was wrong for the second time and focuses instead on the fact that she's pouting, like, and that her intentions were pure, so that's what's focused on instead. Tan apologizing for yelling. Should I go into this even though it's not in my notes or not? She literally pulled a knife on him, people. This is a key. This is very important to remember. This is actually very important to remember. She pulled a knife on Tan. She pulled the knife on Tan because she was throwing a temper tantrum. She was mad at Tan for pointing out something that she didn't like. She wanted him to shut up. She pulled a knife on him. I don't care if you try to claim that it was only the point of it that was sharp and she wasn't pointing it at him. I don't care that she clearly did not intend in any way, shape, or form to hurt him. Her reaction with the beads, she did not mean to hurt him. She was upset with herself for putting him in danger once it happened that the beads fell. But it is a key. She pulled a knife on him because she's throwing a temper tantrum because she doesn't like what he's saying. Remember that. So it's like frustrating to me because shows do this. This is branching out from this show too. Shows do this way too often where someone is wrong. And yet the fact they're wrong pretty much gets skimmed over because they were upset and sad because their intentions were pure and all the rest of this stuff, which is true enough. But you can't just push away the fact that she's wrong, okay? Like, what I had questions about, or well, this is kind of mixed questions and opinion. And then the turnaround. Proof Mir was setting a trap. Which leaves me very much wondering, and is probably a big part of why the one comment I saw called this a Jekyll and Hyde show, how much of Mir's behavior is based on genuine motivations, sorry, say you're sorry, and how much of it is absolutely nothing but an act. Given everything that happens through the whole show, either I'm the most blind I've ever been in my life, thanks to their really bad screenwriting/acting, or Mir is not pure and evil alter. He is setting a trap, yes. Very clearly, he's setting a trap in order to gain enough strength or enough whatever to distract Tan enough to trap him so that he can get out. He literally says, like when Tan asks him, what are we doing in here? Mir says, to trap you here forever, and then runs. But why? Why did he say that? He has so much bitterness after 10 years, I personally think it's 100% justified. Why is he rejecting him so hard? Because he specifically did something we aren't told? Or some things? Or is it mainly due to Tan refusing to communicate with him, / get to know him, / accept him? To me, it's quite a complex mix, and we only see a small portion of the story, and we are left being led to believe it's Mir's fault because Mir is evil, and I don't buy that. In fact, I'll say it here, in many ways, Mir actually reminds me more of a child that just doesn't know any better than he does of a malicious person full of pure intent. That's my personal opinion on it. When Tan in the other episode said that Mir, it would be better for everyone if Mir just plain vanishes. Look at the expression on Mir's face. It's frustration, it's bitterness, but it's also hurt. It's hurt that he's not being believed. It's hurt that he's not being taken seriously. It's hurt like a child going, you don't understand what I've been through, and why won't you just listen to me, and why won't you just believe me? That's what I see. And that's why I'm convinced that it's not a Jekyll and Hyde story. Like, it's way more than that. It's way deeper than that. I'm going to stop there for this video. However many episodes, I forget whether I just did 8 and 9 or if I just did 9. So, thank you for watching, and I am very, intrigued. Even if you don't want to watch the whole show itself, maybe if you just want to go and find these scenes that I'm talking about in the show, just skip through it and watch these scenes. Since that's the main thing I'm reacting to in these episodes anyway, is Tan and Mir mainly, and also, enjoying the interactions between Dapan and Jajan and all the rest of this stuff too. So it's up to you if you want to watch that. If you want to watch it properly so you can fully understand things, not just from my perspective, but you can go and see these things for yourself and listen to it and see what you think and let me know. Because it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. So, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.
我在那边喊你们半天了，你听不见啊？正巡姐和宋大哥打起来了，快走啊！啊！走啊！